Welcome to Dash Assault First Impressions video.
Hey there, folks.
We are playing a game that just came out. I set it up, received a key from the developer to check this game out.
Fantastic.
So I was like, okay, it looks like Limbo.
Alright. Straight up, first
us.
thing, it looks like Limbo.
Yeah. And so I figured I'd check it out. I played about, half an hour of the game.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more. You can see on my upper right. I'm assuming the entire point of the game is that 6 out of 26, and I've died 25 times.
Oh, okay.
So I am I'm those creatures or whatever.
Like the little demon people things.
Yeah. And then I'm a fifth of the way through the game.
Fifth, and then you died 25 times.
Yeah.
I at first I didn't know if that was like, are you on level 6 or level 1?
I hope I'm on level 1. Yes. All right. Okay. This is where I started. So, like you see, it's Limbo.
Yeah, damn.
I mean, really.
I mean, it's got some deep atmosphere already. Don't get me wrong. I did a good job with it.
Yeah, and so apparently I'm running, and those big dudes are like, I don't know, they're the bad guy?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm digging the music. I'll say that right off the bat. Then again, anything with heavy percussions is like my bag.
So I'm playing
Limbo.
Ooh, scary. See, how do I get through? I don't know.
Oh, what do you mean, like, how do you get through? Oh,
okay. That's not a puzzle, right? That's just me,
It's
walking the right way.
I think the idea, like, when you say puzzle for a video game, the term is actually a little ambiguous, because anytime where you're using the mechanics to get through a challenge, that doesn't necessarily mean that you die, but you have to interact with the environment to get to another goal. I mean, we've both watched Sequelitis.
Yes.
And while we have parts of it we do and do not agree with, and the Zelda one, Eager Raptor kind of makes a really interesting point when he says, you shoot an arrow at, like, a blinky thing in the room, and he's like, is that a puzzle? Does that actually constitute as a video game puzzle?
No.
And the thing is it's kind of ambiguous, because it's technically, on one hand, it's supposed to be a puzzle.
Basically, if it doesn't, that means, literally, anytime the game doesn't literally tell you exactly what to do, it's a puzzle? No.
No, not that. But
that's what that sounds like.
Look, whenever the game puts a gate in front of you, like, in a metaphorical sense, like, you need to be able to get past this in order to progress, that's kind of like a puzzle.
It can be.
It can be.
But I feel like a puzzle requires, clues. See, he just took some dude who looks like me, so apparently he's the bad guy.
Yeah, that's giving you something he's bad.
I'm not, honestly, I wasn't feeling I'm not particularly compelled by this.
Okay.
I was why am I'm going to the only reason for me to be going, oop, I died. Spikes.
Oop.
The only reason for me to be going to the right is the fact that that's literally the only place for me to go.
Okay.
So, it didn't show me somebody being taken at first. I found out after the first screen. Oh, so all I did was start chasing this dude down. I have no idea what these beehives do. It doesn't seem to do anything.
They must have some kind of mechanic in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this a puzzle? No, this is just
no. That's just a challenge, really, more than anything else.
Okay, what I would say is almost all. Oh.
Can you use the beehive against that PD Piranha plant there?
Do you want me to fail it first, just to show you?
Yeah, sure. I'm curious.
Oh, look, it eats me. Everyone saw that coming.
I also like that it's a saber-toothed piranha plant.
Now I knock this. What can I possibly do? Well, I knock this down, and this little dog thing comes, and now it's save it.
Okay. I would say, look, my only initial thing is that the game borrows a little too heavily from the inspiration of Limbo. Limbo was a great game.
Yeah. Oh, here's another thing. Where do I go? Right? I can't get up there. This isn't a secret. It's literally the only way for me to go, and so I'm automatically going to try that first.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. If
it was something, maybe even if it was all the way back or something, that'd be one thing.
Yeah.
But that's literally the first thing you're going to try.
Yeah, I know. I see what you're saying. It's there are mechanics at play, but they do lack a little bit of depth with what they're asking
again,
to
this
do.
is the very beginning of the game, though, so maybe it's trying to introduce
it's teaching you mechanics and stuff.
To the fact that this is what the game's going to be like.
Yeah.
The other thing, I will say, we play almost all of our games with a controller, if at all possible.
Yeah,
I really like just hanging out and using a controller.
Well, you and I were console born and bred, you know. I mean, I've never really kind of like tapped into a lot of PC gaming and stuff like that, mainly because growing up I never had a PC strong enough to really play games.
Oops, I'm gonna mention something about me just dying there.
Sure.
It's a little annoying in a second, but yeah, we mostly do that. I will say that this game is clearly, like, look at it. It's the way I'm controlling it, it's designed, a controller should be fine.
Yes.
I'm using the default setup, and it's complete ass.
Really?
The controls are completely unintuitive compared to what you expect.
Oh, okay, like, for the people at home, give a couple of examples.
The buttons do all weird things. Okay, here's the first thing. I want to get to the pause menu. How do I do that on a controller?
Typically you hit start, or maybe like a menu.
It's the left shoulder button.
Really?
Honestly, I'll be honest, it obviously doesn't matter. You can figure it out.
Yeah.
It turns me off to the game because it's like, are you even fucking trying? Like, why did you not figure that out?
No, I see what you mean. Like, there's some things, look, you want to mess around with how your controller is set up and everything like that. I'm fine with. But some stuff, I mean, like, the start button is pretty much start and select are pretty much used for meta stuff in the game. Menus, pause screens, saving. They're not, like, major interactables most of the time. Like, they're not...
Exactly. Like, why is that not the thing? It just kind of... It's a little lazy, I think.
I mean, I can see what
like
you're
right
saying.
there. Oh, that was dark. Can I jump down? Well, it's the only place for me to go.
Have you found any other alternate paths or anything like that, or is it like one per area? Okay.
There's not. I've been through 6 areas. I don't know exactly how much, like what that means exactly.
Well, I mean, there's probably what is it like one dude per area?
I don't know exactly.
Okay.
I'll be honest. There might be more than one dude.
All right.
Like right there was a dude.
So there's probably like X amount of levels, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe there's one dude per area because that would make the timing. See, like there's that sign there.
Yeah. Checkpoint, I'm gonna assume.
Sort of. No, these flags will mean something later. It's a puzzle.
Oh, okay. It's a puzzle.
But the problem is, honestly, I was barely paying attention, and I figured out this puzzle almost immediately.
Oh, really?
You have to use it to open the gate at the end of this.
Okay.
And I was kind of half paying attention to it.
Yeah.
And I got it figured out.
Gotcha.
It's right here.
Well, you know what? This is something that I've kind of noticed, and this is something that I've had a problem with. Like, we just finished playing Portal 2 a little while ago.
Yep. And see, I had to fill in these symbols that you saw in this area.
Gotcha. But anyway, like, we were playing Portal 2, and I mean, like, that was one of the ones I went back and kind of watched, and henceforth why I apologize for my doing silly voices. Mm-hmm. But we were going through it. Now, Portal 2, we had to stop a lot of times in the action to kind of talk our way through what we were doing, because we had to properly solve a puzzle. And that's something that I really kind of, like, miss in video games. Mm-hmm. Like, did you ever play Myst?
Yeah, of course. Riven.
Okay.
Myst, yeah.
Did you ever hear about the origin of the game?
Not really.
2 dudes in a garage. Hey, check it out, Limbo. But it was 2 dudes in a garage, and it was basically like they were adults, like guys our age. And they were like, we wanted a game challenging for us. Like, we didn't want a kid's game. We wanted what we thought a video game for an adult should be. And now I've played Myst. Myst is like proper, get a notebook, a couple of pens, start, keeping, like, you don't know what's going to be important.
Exactly.
And I mean, like, I kind of miss that in games because, like, I've played a bunch of, like, games like this, and, like, I've seen stuff that indie developers have come up with, and you guys do your work. I mean,
yeah, look,
I'm not going to fault you on
Where
that.
do I go? Oh, I'm stuck here. Where do I go?
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the screen, the one on the left goes up.
Yeah,
You can't see it.
I was
there's a little icon blinking on it.
I was waiting for that to be like a thing. But this is one thing that I kind of miss, is that there is a certain amount of brain work kind of left out of video games in the past.
Like, don't call this a puzzle platformer. It's a platformer.
This is a platformer.
But it's not a puzzle platformer. Like,
no.
This is certainly no mind bender.
No. And I mean, that's the thing is like, and I kind of miss that, because like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, just by kind of taking like half a second to kind of look at the screen, it goes, oh, that's where I gotta go. That, to me, like you say, is not as much of a puzzle. Like, I kind of want to have to look at a lot in the screen, or really have to remember what I'm going on. Like, and really, I think a good puzzle shouldn't just be one screen most of the time.
I agree. You know, and like I said, I kind of like it. There's nothing super wrong with it.
No.
But it's very straightforward.
Yeah. Like there, like as soon as you mentioned the mechanic thing, because you could always tell where
like
you
a
can see
little
into the
hazy.
shadow.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it's always a little hazy. And I mean, so you kind of know where to go. It kind of guides you. Like, there's a little too much hand holding. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. And there's also only one way to go, so it's not really a puzzle.
Yeah, I'll give you
And
that.
here's what I'll say. I was mentioning when I fell down that one time.
Oh, yeah.
I've died 25 times, so it's not a tiny bit. I'll probably die on this real quick, honestly, even though I know this puzzle. Like, okay,
it's a little tough,
swing
yeah.
back and forth. But you know what? It's not tough. You know what it is?
What?
Right here, I died.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. It's not tough.
Ah, okay, yeah, that is a big difference.
The mechanics of the game are pissing me off, not... Ooh, I just died again. I myself. I did the timing wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But you move so slowly that's where the challenge in that comes from.
Gotcha.
It does not come from the fact... Oh, I jumped a little too early, I think. Yeah. It doesn't come from the fact that I didn't figure out how to get to the next platform.
Okay.
It came from the fact that I jump so slowly and barely go anywhere. Like, that was the challenge. That
Gotcha.
shouldn't be the challenge. The challenge should be figuring out how to do it, not, oh, I keep dying over and over because I don't, like, get to the very, very edge and jump. And
Gotcha.
it's frustrating in a I blame the game way. Sometimes games are tough.
Yes.
Old Nintendo games and stuff. Like,
oh, yeah.
A big part was, like, very precise platforming.
Yeah.
But because the game moves so slowly, it just feels like ass. I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, no, I see. I look, believe me, I've played games like that myself. I know exactly what you mean in that regard. Like, I'm trying to remember a game that I've played where you had like super floaty controls or super slow controls, where it was like it required an obscene amount of like finesse to get everything just right, and it was difficult. Oh, you know what it was? There was a game I played back. I played it at GameStop when they used to have like the setups.
When they had the console, yeah.
Yeah, and this was on the PlayStation. Now, okay, for those of you who are a little bit younger who might not have known about this, for a little while in the PlayStation, the original PlayStation's life, it didn't have the DualShock controller. Like, it didn't have the two sticks. So there was a Ninja game that came out that required you to use the D-pad.
Mm-hmm.
Here was the issue. The entire game was set up in diagonals. You had to play diagonally. And the problem was it was supposed to be like an action platformer. Well, that's okay. The D-pad at the time really wasn't...
good for diagonals.
Yeah, it really wasn't set up for diagonals.
Okay, I'm just gonna mention real quick.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking pouring rain out. I can see it on the ground here. How was that bucket not getting filled up?
Alright, yeah. You're a little nitpicky, but... I mean, mind you, look, I actually really like the visuals. It's very moody.
I like the visuals. It's very moody. But like I said, I'm not compelled. Like, Limbo compels you. You're lost and you have to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
This isn't super compelling.
No, this isn't, like, super, super compelling. I mean, one, I know the goal. Like, you're obviously trying to get to that. If there's going to be some other kind of twist or alternate thing at the end, I understand. Like, a lot of games, a lot of really any kind of media usually goes like, all right, we have a simple story, here's a twist to kind of sweeten the end.
The only reason I'm going to the right now is it's literally the only thing for me to do.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, noes.
Like, why are they attacking me? I don't know, cause reasons?
Yeah. It's hard to do simple details like that sometimes, where it's like, what's the right level of, like, are you being compelling? Mm-hmm. Are you being vague?
Is it a mystery, or is it just like, the player doesn't really give a shit?
Yeah, like in my job, I've played games like that where you're like, you don't really care as a player that you don't get all the details. You had so much fun anyway.
Exactly.
It never mattered. Games like that can be a lot of fun. But then again, I play games where I'm like, why the fuck? Why are these gigantic plot holes? Why is there no ending to this game? Metal Gear Solid 5. Look, man, that game is...
Oh, look, I needed another gear, and it's magically right here.
Gotcha.
I will say they're lessening on the blurring part, but still.
I know. Great sound effects, too. I mean,
I agree. The atmosphere they do a good job with.
Yeah.
You know, but to be honest, if I wanted to play Limbo, I'd play Limbo.
No, I know. Like, I mean, you know what? We kind of keep coming back to that, and I'm pretty sure people are kind of sick of mentioning it, but, I mean, come on, people, we're playing Limbo. Like,
yeah.
Look at it. Like, it's kind of, it's glaring, you know? It's like now it's like, okay, when you see games that are like, okay, it's a horror game, you start in a hallway. Oh, it's PT. No, it's not PT. Does your hallway change colors? Yeah. Do you constantly cycle through it again? Maybe. Well, guess we're playing a little bit of PT now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hey, big monster.
Yeah, the monster design's cool too.
Yeah.
I'll give it. The monster design's great.
Yeah. I think that if this guy took this game in a different direction a little bit, like if he would have made the visuals a little less like Limbo.
So the big dude's following me now.
Oh, it is that big big monster mouth scary dude?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, there it is.
He's gonna turn around there. But yeah, this is actually as far as I got.
Okay. Well,
that monster dude scared me the first time.
Okay.
I jumped right down because nothing else in the game attacks you until he shows up.
Gotcha. At least I'll give you that. It's got new things.
Yeah.
It is kind of hypnotic just to kind of like sit here and watch. Like I'm kind of like, and now what happens?
Okay, so that's on a timer. So here's a little bit of a new puzzle.
Yeah, but then again, everyone hates timing puzzles. So.
I agree.
I'm
trying to see if there's something back here. No.
Maybe. Is there something in that birdhouse looking thing?
Yep. Call.
There you go. But yeah, like if this game spent a little bit more time on its puzzles, and maybe like...
I will say they're getting slightly more complicated, so I don't want to underestimate...
Oh, like what the game's putting out there?
What the game's putting out, just because all I've played is the intro. Okay, that seemed to have worked. I'm sure that's good.
Yeah, they're both on now.
So I should be able to pull that.
There you go. And now we have color and a thing. Is this anything you encountered before or no?
Nope. Also, the controls are really screwing with this.
So, we have a gold nugget. Can you take it?
Oh, see, I hit... That was a completely different button than the ones I've used before.
What is it?
I've been using, like, A and B, and that was X.
Oh, okay, so you gotta find the right one.
Oh, this is just an ass puzzle. Dude.
So it's 1, 3...
Oh. 1. Okay, I'm done.
Alright,
You're
clearly
puzzle.
done. Okay, yeah.
This is nothing but tedious for no reason.
You gotta memorize it to be able to do it.
All you have to do is keep... And it gives you unlimited chance, and there's no clue.
Yeah.
This is giving me 0 clues to do this. It's just tedious just for the sake of being tedious.
It's, I mean, once again, I feel like this is kind of like also taking a bit of a card from Limbo. Limbo was one of those games where you had to die and try things again and again to be able to figure out how to do it right. So this is, you have to memorize the pattern. But once again, those aren't necessarily fun puzzles. Because
yes. Is that a puzzle? Technically?
Yes.
But like I said, if it's not giving you clues, then really it's just a mechanic.
Yes.
This is a time waster.
Yeah.
That puzzle right there is just to make the game take longer.
Yes.
It's not interesting. It's not...
I'm not figuring it out. I'm not going, which one is the next one in the sequence? I'm going, let me select 1. That was incorrect. Now I'll go back. Now I will select 2. That was correct. Now I have to start the process again.
Yeah.
It's not a fun puzzle. This is one of those things where I want to just, like, beast through because I want to get to the next thing.
Okay, so you watched me play.
I watched you play?
I've played. Here's my wrap-up of my first impressions.
Yes.
A, art style. It's cool. Yes, it's clearly Limbo.
Yes.
But it's still cool. I like the monster design. I like the world design.
Yeah.
B, the atmosphere. The art, ties into that, but the atmosphere of the game's really done well.
Yeah.
It's weird. There's weird creatures. It gets more complex.
Yep.
And so I like that. But here's the thing. Negatives. Controls.
No, yeah.
A, the controller's layout is lazy. Yes, I could go in and modify it to set up to what I'd assume to be normal controls.
Okay.
But why is it so random? It's like, this takes 2 seconds. You've got to fix that.
Yeah, okay.
B, it's not puzzles. There have been no puzzles so far. Even as things get a little more complicated, they just get more tedious.
Yeah.
They're not hard to figure out. And this thing's exact example of it. This would take me a while to figure out.
Yeah.
The puzzles are obstacles in my way, not things to figure out. And so, in total, I'd say, get Limbo.
Ooh.
End of story.
No, I hear you. My own personal 2 cents, I actually have to say I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I mean, we've been talking about it, we've harped on it, I'm not going to repeat myself over and over again ad nauseum. But, look, guy, you have a nice setup. You have a nice start to a game.
Mm-hmm.
Take it, go back to some of the drawing boards, come up with some puzzles, make it a little bit more complex. Don't give us something to do, give us a challenge.
I agree. Or make it a little faster paced with the plotting. So that I'm not just frustrated by my inability to jump just a little too far. And if it's a platformer, it's a platformer. That's cool. Don't make it about being frustrated by the controls.
Yes.
Make it about making it difficult for the game to be difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Just, you have a good base, refine it. That's what my 2 cents is.
So this is Toby, The Secret Mine. It's out on Steam now. Just came out a few days ago. And, like I said, can't recommend it, but it might be cheap. There's lots of these cheap games. If you liked Limbo a lot and you're looking for just to spend some time playing a game, maybe it ends up paying off in the end. This is just a first impressions. Maybe it gets a little more interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
See you later, folks.